Discover You Radio's discussion. Stay tuned as Robert Simmons and Rita Fox go into a deep dive.
Don't get caught up in old school corporate service manual training, the funky one. Get Your Guide to Customer Service by Brandon Eagle and get caught up today. You can find it on Amazon and Kindle.
Imagine waking up, grabbing your morning coffee, and walking out to your pristine, custom-poured concrete driveway.
Oh, that sounds like a great morning.
Right. But then you look down, and there is just this massive, dark, permanent oil stain bleeding right into the cement.
Ugh, you would be absolutely furious.
Honestly, you should be. So you storm down to the dealership to demand answers. But here is the crazy part.
Yeah.
The person you were about to scream at today, the one who is going to beg you not to ruin their paycheck over this mess.
They never even touched your car.
Exactly. They didn't even touch it.
It's a completely wild scenario, but for the people working behind the service counter, it's just a regular Tuesday.
It really is. Well, welcome everyone to Discover You Radio's deep dive portion of the Full Spectrum.
We're so glad you're here.
Today, we are launching something truly special. We are kicking off part 1 of an exclusive multi-part breakdown series that is honestly going to completely change the way you look at an everyday mundane experience.
Oh, without a doubt.
We're diving into the incredibly eye-opening book, Your Guide to Customer Service, the Mirror Edition by Brandon Eagle.
We are just so excited for this series. This isn't just a book, it's a revelation.
Yeah.
But before we get into the really heavy-hitting content, it's really worth sharing how this book even came into existence.
Right, the origin story is fascinating.
It is. Eagle actually credits Frank Conrad Musumeci, who you might know as the author of the award-winning Events of an Ordinary Life.
Oh, sure. Great book.
Right. So Musumeci essentially pushed Eagle to write this. He realized that these wild trench warfare stories from the automotive service lane, they absolutely needed to be told.
Yeah, the world needed to see what really happens behind that glass counter.
Exactly.
And the dedication of this book is just as powerful, I think. Eagle dedicates it to the service advisors who, smile through daily meltdowns.
Right, the ones who take the blame for things they didn't do.
Exactly, and who still manage to say thank you when they really just want to scream.
Oh, I can only imagine.
But importantly, he also dedicates it to you, the good customers.
Yes. The ones who realize that advisors aren't robots.
Right. They aren't magicians, and they certainly aren't punching bags.
Exactly. The ones who show up, listen, and, treat the human being across the counter with basic dignity. Because that's really the core premise we're exploring today.
Yeah.
This book is emphatically not a corporate-approved how to be nicer manual.
No, definitely not.
You won't find stock photos of people with perfect hair giving fake smiles while pointing at a clipboard. This is a gritty survival guide from the front lines.
Okay, let's unpack this because the epigraph of the book hits so hard.
It really does.
It points out that everyone demands good customer service, but how often do you stop and ask if you're behaving like a good customer?
Wow, yeah.
Right? Like, we are so quick to fill out a survey grading how an employee treated us, but we rarely step back and grade our own behavior during the interaction.
It's a brilliant framing, really.
Yeah.
And to truly understand why the service lane is so intensely stressful, both for you as a customer who just wants your car fixed and for the advisor trying to help you.
Right.
We first have to look at the massive, almost comical disconnect between what corporate executives think happens in a dealership and the messy, chaotic reality of the actual trenches.
The disconnect is staggering. The book details these corporate training videos that advisors are forced to watch.
Oh, those videos are something else.
They really are. Try to picture the scene they set up. You've got perfectly lit service drive, soft background music, absolutely zero phones ringing.
Right, no chaos at all.
Exactly. No printers are jamming. There are no tow trucks dropping off burning cars. Just a calm, well-rested advisor treating one single customer at a time as, quote, the most important person in the world.
It looks fantastic in a corporate conference room, doesn't it?
It looks like a spa.
Right. As Eagle points out, that fantasy dies instantly the second it hits a real Monday morning at 7:45 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
The author completely dismantles this corporate illusion. Let's look at the actual environment you walk into.
Set the scene for us.
Okay, so at any given moment, That advisor is dealing with 3 wildly impatient customers in the waiting area who just want to leave because they're already late for work.
Naturally.
Simultaneously, 2 different phone lines are blinking red on their desk.
And wait, don't forget the tow truck out front.
Right. A tow truck is actively pulling up outside, blocking the entrance with a completely dead vehicle that needs to be processed.
It's nonstop.
And on top of all of that, a master technician is standing right behind the advisor, holding a greasy clipboard with a half-torn down engine.
Oh, wow.
And they need an immediate answer so they don't lose billable time on the lift.
Yeah.
All of this is happening in the exact same minute.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate for a second.
Go for it.
If I am the customer and I am paying $150 an hour for labor, or, I just dropped 50 grand on a new vehicle, shouldn't I expect to be greeted instantly?
Well, sure.
I mean, why is corporate wrong to demand a warm welcome? That's just business 101, isn't it?
It is a totally fair expectation if you are walking into a controlled environment.
Okay.
But that's the whole point of Eagle's book.
Yes.
Service lane is not a controlled environment.
Right.
Corporate executives build their models based on a luxury retail experience, but a service drive operates much more like a hospital emergency room.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because the book uses fantastic analogy here.
Yes, I love this analogy.
Corporate's demand is that the advisor must make instant eye contact with anyone who walks through the door and treat them with undivided attention.
Right.
It is exactly like expecting a battlefield triage nurse to act like a luxury hotel concierge while the entire hospital is actively on fire.
Yes, exactly. It
Look
makes
here.
no sense.
If you walk into a luxury hotel, yes, the concierge should drop everything, smile, and offer you a warm towel.
Of course.
But in a triage unit, the nurse has to prioritize the bleeding patient, the ringing radios, the doctors needing immediate answers.
They have to do actual triage.
Right. Corporate's golden rule of treating every single person as the most important simultaneously is literally physically impossible. You cannot have 5 number 1 priorities at the exact same second.
And this specific disconnect leads to corporate's absolute biggest misunderstanding of the service lane.
Which is?
It's the myth of the available advisor, or what corporate calls the empty desk.
Oh, man. You know this feeling as a customer. You walk into a business, you see an employee sitting at a desk, staring at a computer screen with no one standing in front of them.
Yep.
And your immediate thought is, great, they aren't doing anything. They're completely available to help me right this second.
But the author breaks down the invisible workload that makes that assumption entirely false.
That huge workload.
Huge. When no customer is physically standing in front of them, those advisors aren't just browsing the internet or daydreaming.
Right, they aren't playing solitaire.
No, they're deep into high-stakes administrative work. They might be finalizing repair orders or ROs.
Let's pause and explain that, because an RO sounds like just a receipt, but it is way more complicated.
Oh, much more complicated. An RO is essentially a binding legal document.
Wow.
The advisor has to document every safety recommendation perfectly, so a waiting customer's file is legally accurate before they drive away.
That sounds incredibly stressful.
It is. If they miss documenting a worn brake pad and that customer gets into an accident, the dealership is liable.
That is terrifying.
So they are typing up these massive, detailed legal files, or they are prepping to cash out someone who has been waiting in the lounge for an hour.
Or, and this is the really stressful one, they are navigating warranty claims. The book highlights how incredibly complex this is.
It is practically its own language.
Really?
Yeah. When a part fails under warranty, the advisor can't just type, fix the water pump and call it a day.
Right, that would be too easy.
They have to research specific labor operations, hunt down exact alphanumeric failure codes, and ensure the documentation tells a flawless story of a manufacturer defect.
Because if they don't, there are massive financial consequences.
Exactly. If they make a single mistake on a warranty claim, like literally one wrong digit in a failure code, the claim gets denied by the manufacturer.
Oh, wow.
The manufacturer refuses to pay, and the dealership outright eats a $3,000 repair bill.
Jeez.
So when that advisor is staring intently at their screen, it requires immense, uninterrupted focus so the business doesn't hemorrhage money.
Wait, so if they're forced by corporate to drop everything the second someone walks in, what happens to that complicated warranty claim they were just in the middle of?
Well, that brings us to the eye contact trap.
Okay, tell me about that.
Corporate training hammers this idea. Always look up and make eye contact the second someone walks through the glass doors.
Right, it's polite.
But Eagle explains the psychological trigger of eye contact. The exact microsecond an advisor locks eyes with you as a walk-in, you, the customer, believe the transaction has officially begun.
Naturally, we've been socially conditioned our entire lives to react that way. If someone makes eye contact in a retail setting, it means, I am ready for you.
Precisely.
Yeah.
You walk straight up to the desk expecting their full, undivided attention. But by forcing the advisor to make that eye contact and initiate the interaction, corporate is forcing them to abandon that highly sensitive, critical, behind-the-scenes work.
Right.
So the $3,000 warranty claim gets paused mid-sentence.
The customer who has been waiting an hour to pay is delayed even further.
Yes. The technician holding the torn-down engine doesn't get their answer.
It's a massive domino effect of delays.
It really is.
And all to satisfy a corporate mandate of saying hello immediately. It feels like there has to be a better way to handle the traffic flow without sabotaging the actual work.
There is. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the author presents a remarkably simple solution.
Oh.
It's a solution that corporate flat out refuses to fund: a dedicated greeter.
Just one person.
Just one person.
That's it.
Someone whose sole exclusive job is to stand at the entrance, notice who walks in, make that crucial eye contact, assess the situation, and make small talk.
That makes so much sense.
Their job is to keep people informed and calm. Hi, welcome. Bob will be right with you. He's just finishing up some paperwork. That's it.
Wow.
If you have a greeter, customers feel seen immediately, and the advisors don't get yanked out of deep, complex work every 30 seconds.
So what does this all mean? It means that because corporate offices want to save a few bucks and absolutely refuse to pay a greeter's salary, they expect the service advisor to literally split their brain into pieces.
That is exactly what they expect.
They're demanding the advisor act as a charming greeter, an accurate service writer, a fast cashier, a meticulous quality control inspector, a rapid-fire phone operator, a detail-oriented warranty clerk, and, let's be honest, an emotional therapist for angry people.
Right. All at the exact same time.
All at the same time.
And here is the brutal reality. Because no human being can flawlessly execute 7 different jobs simultaneously under intense pressure, mistakes are inevitable.
Absolutely. Delays are inevitable.
So how does corporate manage this inevitable failure that they themselves set up?
Yeah, how do they handle it?
Since they won't provide the greeter to manage the chaos, they rely on an enforcement tool. A tool specifically designed to punish the advisor for not being superhuman. They weaponize the Customer Satisfaction Index, or CSI.
CSI. Wow, those 3 letters strike pure terror into the heart of anyone working in automotive service.
Oh, they definitely do.
We have all seen this. If you have ever taken your car in, you've received that survey email asking you to rate your experience on a scale of 1 to 10 or maybe 1 to 5 stars.
Right.
What you probably don't realize is the intense financial coercion tied directly to your answers.
The author lays bare just how punitive this system is. Corporate uses CSI as a blunt instrument because they can't easily measure true quality.
Like whether an advisor was accurate or empathetic.
Exactly. But they can measure a survey score. So they tie a massive chunk of a service advisor's income directly to getting perfect scores in a fundamentally imperfect world.
That is just so unfair.
We aren't talking about a small gift card bonus here. Depending on the pay structure, an advisor can lose up to $10,000 or more a year if their scores drop below an arbitrary corporate threshold.
$10,000.
Say a 95% average.
Wait, let's break that down. As a customer, I might give a 4 out of 5 stars because, hey, nobody's perfect, right?
Oh, you think you're giving a good score.
Maybe the waiting room coffee was a little cold, so I give a 4.
And that innocent 4 out of 5 just cost your advisor a huge chunk of their rent money.
Wow.
Because an 80% score drags down a 95% average incredibly fast. It's a rigged game.
It really is.
One single bad survey doesn't just lower an average slightly, it entirely contaminates a sea of good ones.
That's crazy.
Corporate doesn't look at the nuance. Anything less than a perfect score is considered a total failure.
Which leads to the most agonizing part of the job, the unfair blame game. Let's go back to that scenario I mentioned right at the start.
The driveway.
Yeah, the book gives this brilliantly frustrating example. A technician working in the back shop accidentally leaves an oil drain plug a little loose.
Okay.
The customer takes the car home, parks it, and wakes up to find a massive permanent oil stain on their beautiful, expensive concrete driveway.
It's a total nightmare for the customer. I mean, they are rightfully furious. Their property is damaged.
Completely justified anger. But who takes the hit for it?
Not the technician.
No, not the technician who turned the wrench. The service advisor.
Yep.
The advisor who never even touched the car, who has likely never even met the technician working on it, depending on the size of the shop, is the one forced to absorb the absolute brunt of that customer's rage.
It's wild. They have to smile, apologize profusely, coordinate the fix for the driveway.
Right.
And then the most humiliating part.
Yeah.
They have to beg that furious customer not to destroy their paycheck on the CSI survey over a mistake they didn't even make.
That is just awful.
The unspoken script the advisor is forced to follow is essentially, I am so incredibly sorry someone else ruined your driveway, but if you don't give me a perfect 10 out of 10 on this survey, I won't be able to feed my kids this month.
It's holding their livelihood hostage.
Exactly. And this raises an important question, one that Eagle poses directly to those corporate executives in the book. What happens if the advisors finally say, enough?
Oh, that's a fascinating hypothetical, because the whole system relies on them just taking the abuse.
Exactly. The author explores what a quiet revolt might look like.
What would that even be?
Well, what if advisors simply refuse to be the emotional shock absorbers for broken systems?
Okay.
What if there was an actual organized strike where advisors across multiple brands refused to play the CSI game?
That would be massive.
What if they collectively demanded that their pay plans stop hinging on an angry survey about something entirely out of their control?
Wow.
It's a stark warning that corporate operations currently rely entirely on the compliance of deeply exhausted people.
And standing right in the middle of this powder keg is the service manager.
Oh, yes. We really need to talk about them.
Because the book gives them so much overdue credit, their role sounds truly impossible. They are fighting a brutal war on two distinct fronts.
That's the perfect way to describe it.
On one side, they're out in the service lane, stepping in front of screaming customers to protect their advisors, absorbing the absolute worst verbal abuse.
Right.
And on the other side, behind closed doors, they're getting on conference calls with corporate executives.
Yep. Trying to explain that the policies handed down from the ivory tower are fundamentally foolish and completely detached from reality.
Good luck with that, right?
Eagle makes a phenomenal suggestion here for those executives, actually.
Oh.
He argues that if corporate bosses or private dealership owners really want to improve customer service, they don't need another PowerPoint slide deck.
Definitely.
They don't need a new online training module. They need to come down from their quiet office and sit in an advisor's chair.
And not just for an hour, right?
No, not for a quick 2-hour photo op ride-along where everyone is on their best behavior and the managers have catered lunch.
Right.
They need to sit there for a full, exhausting month, open to close.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Dealing with the ringing phones, the walk-ins, the angry people waiting, the cars coming back broken, the coupon disputes, and the constant threat of bad surveys.
Only then would they realize how absurd their expectations are.
Exactly.
I would pay good money to watch a corporate executive try to navigate a 7:45 a.m. rush where 3 people are screaming about being late to work.
It would be a reality check of epic proportions.
It really would. But since that corporate system isn't changing anytime soon, the advisors are left to survive on their own.
Yeah, they just have to deal with it.
And because the pressure is so immense, their primary coping mechanism becomes incredibly sharp observation.
Right.
They survive by recognizing the predictable, repeating patterns of human behavior that walk through their sliding glass doors every single day.
And that transition is exactly what sets up the roadmap for the rest of this deep dive series.
Yes.
Eagle has categorized these repeating behaviors into distinct archetypes. He has given names to the customers that every advisor knows instantly the second they walk in.
Oh, I cannot wait to get into these. We're going to have so much fun unpacking these characters in our upcoming deep dives.
It could be great.
Listeners, get ready, because you are going to recognize people you know, and maybe, if we're being completely honest, you might even recognize a little bit of yourself in some of them.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
We're going to cover quite a few. Just to give you a taste, we have got the early bird entitlement.
Oh, boy.
This is the person who shows up an hour before their appointment and genuinely believes that physically arriving first magically overrides the entire shop schedule.
Oh, I know this person.
You've seen them.
They show up at 7 a.m. for a 9 a.m. appointment, tap their watch, and assume that because they physically occupied space in the building, the space-time continuum shifts. Yeah. And the 4 people who actually had 7 a.m. appointments just get pushed back. And they are genuinely offended when their car isn't pulled in immediately.
Right. And then you have the polar opposite, the last-minute pickup.
Oh, right.
The dealership closes at 6 p.m., the lights are off, the registers are closing down, the advisor is grabbing their coat.
Getting ready to go home.
Exactly. Then at 6:05, someone strolls through the door, totally unbothered, expecting a full, leisurely walkthrough of their invoice.
And they're absolutely shocked that the staff isn't thrilled to stick around.
Exactly.
We'll also dive into the couple scam. I loved reading about this one.
That one is hilarious.
This is the duo who clearly cannot communicate with each other at home, but the moment something goes wrong with their vehicle, they beautifully unite to blame the advisor for their own misunderstandings.
It is incredible to watch. Then there's the my mechanic said parts mule.
Ah, yes.
The one who demands you replace a specific expensive part because their buddy's cousin diagnosed the car over the phone based on a sound it was making.
Right, it sounded like a clunk clunk.
Yeah, exactly.
And my personal favorite, the garage expert.
Oh.
This is the customer whose slightly slanted home garage floor is somehow infinitely more accurate at measuring fluid levels than the shop's multi-$1,000 laser-leveled hydraulic lift.
We also can't forget the coupon Nazis who sit through an entire complex 10-minute checkout process and wait until the absolute final second to drop a massive discount bomb on the desk,
forcing the advisor to recalculate the entire invoice from scratch.
Yep, it's going to be incredible.
So how exactly are we going to break down these chapters as we go through this series?
Well, Eagle has structured each of these character studies brilliantly, and we're going to follow his lead.
Sounds like a plan.
For each architect we discuss, we'll first look at the cinematic scenario.
Okay, what does that look like?
That's really painting the picture of exactly what it looks and feels like when this specific type of customer arrives. Then we decode the customer logic loop.
Right, trying to find the actual method in the madness. Like, why does the last-minute pickup think their behavior is totally fine?
Exactly. What wild mental gymnastics are happening in their head that makes this behavior seem perfectly reasonable to them?
That'll be fascinating.
From there, we pivot to the advisor reality check, which reveals the hidden chaos happening on the other side of the desk while the customer is making their demands.
And finally,
They outline the unwritten service desk etiquette rules.
I love these.
These are the blunt, honest truths that should realistically be printed in giant letters and stapled to the waiting room wall.
But never, ever will be.
Never.
It's going to be a masterclass in human psychology and patience.
Absolutely.
To wrap up our core mission for today's deep dive, the next time you are standing at a counter, whether it's a dealership, a hospital triage, or a hotel desk, we want you to realize something profound.
Yes.
The person on the other side of that desk is almost certainly absorbing the failures of a massive corporate system that they have absolutely zero control over.
They aren't the policymakers.
Exactly. They are the shock absorbers.
They are managing invisible workloads you can't see, fighting battles you don't know about, and doing it all under the constant looming threat of a survey that could ruin their month financially.
So be sure to tune in to our next deep dive as we officially tackle Chapter 1 and meet our very first customer archetype.
It's going to be incredibly eye-opening.
It really is.
And I want to leave you with a final, lingering thought to chew on until next time.
Please do.
Think back to that epigraph we discussed at the very beginning. The next time you experience a slight inconvenience at a business and a manager hands you a customer satisfaction survey, stop and ask yourself, are you genuinely grading the human being standing in front of you? Or are you just grading the impossible, broken corporate system they're trapped inside?
That is a great point.
And more importantly, if the service lane is truly a mirror reflecting human behavior, what does your reaction to hearing the word no reveal about you?
It's 10 after 6, you're clocked out, the registers are shut down, and there's that customer peeking through the window like a lost raccoon. Get your guide to customer service by Brandon Eagle. He addresses this. You can find it on Amazon and Kindle.
Thank you for listening to Discover You Radio's discussions. We'd like to invite you to research who was spotlighted on this episode. And if they have a website, join their mailing list. You never know. They just may become the next legendary legacy through Discover You Radio. Because listeners like you made it possible. Thank you for your support.